Well, in this section, guys, I want to gradually move towards discussing conversion tracking, remarketing, etc. Before we start, these you should learn the next step, which is linking your Google Ads to analytics, which is important. If you remember, when we wanted to set up the campaign settings and such, I want to review it now. There is a place at the account settings level, meaning it should be up here on all campaigns. It should be in all campaigns so that your data automatically appears in the acquisition section of analytics. In this acquisition section, it shows the source as Google CPC. Well, for this to happen automatically and not require UTM discussion, you should have this noted in your dashboard. At this point, when you are in all campaigns, this is before the actual linking discussion. When you are in all campaigns, click on settings. You have an account settings section. Well, in your account settings section, many of the all campaigns, guys, when you go into the campaigns, you won't see the account settings anymore. You will see this auto tagging section. Oh, if I may say, don't touch the URL options for now, wherever the URL option and dynamic are. In the account settings section, you actually have an auto tagging section. Check this box. What does it do? Guys, it adds a query string to the end of your URL component and it gives it a gclid. It becomes Google Ads with that client ID, and it assigns this to the user. So when this is passed, it simultaneously gives Google CPC. Guys, when you don't do this correctly or haven't checked it at all, a part of your traffic goes into a hub and you see it goes into your direct or organic. It usually appears in your organic and Google no longer marks it as CPC. To avoid this issue, turn on your auto tagging and finally save it. When you are linking analytics to Google Ads, this happens automatically. We can do this from 2 points. One is during the settings, and I link it from linked accounts within Google Ads or from analytics, which has a few presets. The first thing is that when you want to connect analytics to Google Ads, both Google Ads and analytics should be linked to the same Gmail account. Or rather, they should be connected to a single email, and you need to have admin access on both Google Ads and on your analytics at the property level. So you should have admin access at the property level in your analytics and also admin access in your Google Ads. Where would you check this? You would check it in your account security section to see if you have admin access or not. This is for linking Google Analytics to Google Ads. I mentioned that you go to Tools and Settings, then Linked Accounts, and this page will appear. Now, you might say, I want to set up my Google Play, my Google Merchant Store, or maybe even Firebase. Or set up GA4. I come here, go into the details, and now, for instance, I clicked on my GA4. I go into the details and select. I go into the details. And then the analytics accounts that are set up on this Gmail, for example, I can see here. Suppose, for instance, ShopFast or let's say X, whatever it is. Now, in this specific Gmail where I have set this up, Control F, doozy goal. You see, guys, here it's linked. You link or unlink it. When you want to link it, it asks which view you want me to link for you. You see it wants all your website data, or it wants this view, or it wants that one. First of all, make sure, absolutely make sure. When you want to work with this and link it, be aware of which view you are linking. Okay. For example, I select all website data, and if you check the import site metric box, guys, it will pass a few analytics metrics like session, bounce rate, and a few other things from analytics to this word. I am not dealing with this right now. When I click on the link and save it, that analytics gets linked to this. And now, for example, I have linked 3 of the views here. You see, I have linked 3 to this Google account to see that data. So, one link was made from here. If you want to do this from analytics or in your Google Analytics, you click on this link and the items will appear for you, the ones that actually exist. For instance, let's say I start at some. This is, for example, I have an example, or now this isn't it. Well, I ultimately click on this and they come down. And finally, continue and save. When you click continue, it asks which group link to use, which view to link to, and then it links it. It says, creating this thing enables auto-tagging for all links in the Google Ads account. When I click this link, this happens, and it finalizes eventually. So what happened? I went to the end of the analytics, I clicked on Google Ads, I selected the Google Ads account I wanted. If you don't see it, guys, it means your access is not admin. Or better to say, this email is not connected to it. You see, this is my email. And this is the same email I connected here. Well, I come here to analytics and link it. I click on the link of the view I want and link the account. So one of the ways that is linking through Google Ads. Guys, no need to redo it. With the employees, whether you put it here or there, it doesn't matter. Once it's linked, and that's it. And finally, this process. Once you've done it, you see that Google Ads is linked to me. One link account. Well, it also gives 3 link views, which is exactly what I have here. So, analytics too. From this date, it became, from this side as well, Google Ads. Guys, let me tell you a point. For example, I'm saying that several Google Ads accounts are connected to one analytics. The important point is that you see the clicks over there, but you don't see the sessions anymore because this analytics, for example, is on the Dozegal site, and that analytics is on the HDM site. Well, suppose I went to the HD site, Marketing RG, Analytics. I'm focusing on that, okay? I went and connected 5 other Google accounts to this one. Okay. When you do this, at this point, you can see your Google data here, and when you click, you can see the campaigns from over there. Exactly. Here. Guys, an important point I told you, and before you see this data here, and when your auto tracking is not active, we go into your source and your acquisition in all. Go to traffic, you won't see the Google CPC millions. It goes into the organic that should be in your data in Amir's language. I have exactly the same campaigns here. There's no difference. Look, I have exactly the same campaigns here. I have their clicks. I can see the CPC. It's just one point, guys. Sometimes you get stuck on this like, hey, my CPC over there is in lira, but here it's showing in dollars. Guys, you can adjust this in your view settings. When I click on a setting and come here, you see, guys, I usually set my time zone view to Turkey with my account. This is an important point. Because when you're looking at analytics, data here, for example, your Google Ads might be set to the Turkey time zone. If analytics is set to Iran, this data doesn't match up well. Why? Because analytics says it's set to Iran, while the other is set to Turkey. If you want, go ahead. If not, don't. You see your currency unit. I see this change to Turkish. To view your currency unit accordingly, then, in this section of Google Ads, your campaigns, your site links, your keywords, your search queries, or your search terms can be seen here. You will have exactly the same items here as well. You see your Google Ads parameters like cost, clicks, CPC, etc. Then you also see sessions separately. And guys, there's a point here. If there's a significant difference in your session clicks, a few sparks should go off in your mind. The first issue is that if your clicks are much higher than your sessions, or there's an anomaly here, if it goes above 20-30%, something is happening. You should check if you've correctly placed the analytics code. This is the first issue because sometimes a mistake is made, or for any reason, whether you're working with the technical team or not. This is the first issue that should be addressed with the tag manager. Put it aside, because I'm discussing the volume of the tag, and I'll tell you right here. When you visit the site hdmarketing.org in the webinar section, there are free webinars available for you, where you can see many of the guidelines. You can see the parameters of the tag manager, which has And you can also introduce other resources to have alongside, like the major school itself, which you can watch on YouTube. This webinar is also a very good one, recorded by Omid Zamanat. If you need analytics, if you need a landing page without coding, if you need to know about CDP data discussions and how to work with it, these are free webinars that you can watch alongside your course. Additionally, other webinars that are prepared and will be made available. In the context of analytics, if I see that clicks have a significant difference from sessions, if clicks are much higher, it means that Google's instruction from my clicks hasn't resulted in sessions. Two things happen here, which I will address later, but clicks and such occurrences happen. It might be that invalid clicks, for example, have occurred due to bots, and Google hasn't yet identified these invalid clicks. This is one parameter. Secondly, it might be that the analytics code hasn't been correctly implemented, or for instance, the code has been altered, and the analytics is being saved elsewhere. For example, you are getting clicks on the other side, but not here. You can also understand this through your reports. The third point is if clicks are still significantly higher than sessions, as I mentioned, it might be due to fraud, or Google might not detect it somewhere. If you have valid data regarding this issue that I just mentioned, you can contact Google through the Contact Us section up there. In the Help section here, you click on Contact Us, send them a screenshot, write to them, and explain your reason. They will review it. Google reviews this once a month, and you might be able to get your money back. We usually do this, and sometimes it happens. Pay attention if the opposite occurs, where your clicks are significantly less than sessions. Well, something has happened here again in this situation. You see that your clicks, for example, let's say there are 300, or you see that you've thrown in 3 or 700. One of the main reasons for this is that they come, and fraudulently, so to speak, they use bots. Well, the clicks are fake. They use a bot, meaning Google itself detects it. Now, as they say, it's a way to catch fake clicks. I'll talk to you about it later, but just know this in general. They use a bot, change the IP, create a new session, or for example, they use new queries, create a new session. What happens? Google detects it, and the clicks that are considered invalid are removed. Well, but the session has been initiated. Kids, the difference between click and session, and even the definition of click and session, go read about it. I'm not going to delve into it here, but the definition of a session is different from a click. It's possible for a user to click twice to enter. And for example, if they go back and click twice to enter, this session might not be recorded for you. Only the click is recorded at this point. Google has come and tracked these clicks, but in your analytics, since these sessions are dead, this occurrence should be natural for you considering what I just told you. So, kids, let this be an additional point for you when linking. Therefore, for linking analytics to Google, I gave you a method, Adin, to remember. I said you can do it through analytics or through Google, which links it here. That is, we do it, and ultimately it determines the things needed here. To link both on a single domain, access the pair property, and it asks you for admin rights. And finally, you can complete the link. If Google doesn't show you the account there, in the section where you clicked the link and didn't see it, what was the reason? I mentioned that the access on that side is actually not linked to this Gmail, so you don't see it to link it. Go check your account to ensure you have access, and then you can link it. That's that regarding the session discrepancy, which I briefly explained, and we'll delve into it more later. For now, this is enough. In this section, let's move on to discuss the topic further. Let's explore remarketing and conversion together.